Alright, here we are on the Serenityrenee 3 claim. Coming out to take a look at Dwayne's diggings. He brought back a bunch of buckets and totes and stuff that I gotta go through. I figured I had a little bit of time to kill, so I figured I'd come out here and take another look and do another video. Everything looks pretty good, although there were people out here digging, so there are other people out here trying to prospect, and they're out here sampling, so we got to get our signs up as quick as we can. This is new right here. Somebody poked at that. This is part of that reef, that same reef that we're digging into. Goes across here. It's underneath all this. This is where Dwayne parked. And then we got here's where the vein goes. It goes right through here. It kind of spurs off right there. So it goes underground. Almost looks like a dike. The host rock is all deteriorated, decomposed. Looks like it's pretty decent to get through for now. This is the sulfides. Then you start getting deeper, and it starts getting into that bluish quartz. Let's measure this out today. Let's see where it goes across. It does continue down though right here. Continues down. Looks like it dips. Dips somewhere right down in here. Probably picks back up around over here somewhere. Let's see. It must be underneath all this. Well, the direction though, I'll put it over here somewhere. It's probably right here somewhere underneath us. I don't see it. I have to clear out all the overburden. There's a piece of float. So it must be right here somewhere underneath all this. There's another piece of float right there. Probably pops up underneath those bushes somewhere. we walk down here, I don't want to see a whole lot. Nothing to make note of. Just a bunch of overburden. I don't see any more seams anywhere. So that looks like about it for that seam. We got one other one. Piece of rose quartz. Gorgeous day out here today. Looks like we got some basalt. Here's one more vein. This is just to the left of the other one. It's not as big. Maybe about 4 inches or so. So this one goes from the exposed one to what we dug out. Looks like 30 feet there, and it turns and it continues this way. And it shoots right across the way over there. And we got this one. I believe is the same vein as the other one. And this one goes for quite some ways. So that one goes about 100 feet or so, stretching down to the 40-footer. So look at about 140 feet of vein so far. And we got one across the way. We'll go take a look at that one. That's the one that we originally started digging out. Somebody's been prospecting right here. We need to make sure we nip that. Claim jumping's kind of frowned upon. We're out in the middle of nowhere, so you have to take necessary action by posting signs and whatnot. And then we'll start getting into the wild, wild west, I suppose. So the next group is over here. All this float, it all came sloughing off this one vein right here. This one vein, and it goes straight across into the next gully up that hill, and then continues this way down through this gully. See pieces of it sticking up right here. Somebody's been sampling it. And it shoots down all the way down here, down into that gully. And then, I'd be surprised if there's more. See all the black sand? Just super iron rich out here. It's a good looking outcrop. Let's go look at that. It's got a big old dike that goes right up to it. Looks like it's all granodiorite. But there's a seam. It goes clear across all the way up to that hill. I don't see any quartz, but I do see a vein of a fissure that got filled in. It's right here. Got filled in with steam and material. Looks like it kind of swings around this way, goes up. Now the Good Hope mine out in Paris, California, which is not too far from here. Back in their heyday from the 1800s until probably about 1907, they pulled out like $2 million of gold during those standards, which I believe was $25 an ounce. So you can imagine at today's prices, if we can get a good source of free milling gold that's not locked up in sulfides, we'd probably do pretty darn good. So there's that dike right there. That might be a pegmatite dike rather than granodiorite. I just honestly don't know. All I can do is base off samples of what I have from my out here to rocks that I know for sure back home. But it's definitely feldspar and silica based. And it cooled. This cooled pretty quickly. That's actually quartz. With some mica and some muscovite. That's a big quartz vein right there. Looks like it pushes up. Probably a good 2 feet from right here to down here. That's a good 2 feet. So it's a pretty good vein. We might have to sample this one too. It goes quite some distance. It fractures, moves, dips, goes up this hill. Looks like it's encased in either a granodiorite or a basalt of some sort. Looks like granodiorite. Almost like a jasper ore, which in Nevada is one of the key producers of gold, are the jasperoids. And you get these purples. I don't know if you can see that. Goes clear up underneath this road right here. That's a good 1,800 feet easily. Picks back up right here, right there, and then continues up that hill. You can see a piece of it right there as it comes up, right there, and another one right there. There's another road up top there. So as far as getting the material and all that, it's pretty easy. I got a 4x. We could pretty much just drive right up to all these with my truck, pull out the crusher, pull out the pickaxes, pull out the jackhammer and generator, and get busy. I know a lot of people come out here shooting and stuff. Now the Mammoth Group gold mine, and a couple of the other gold mines that were documented pretty well are across the way over there in those hills, those low-lying hills. And then there's one right over here somewhere, either on that little tiny hilltop or right here in this basin up the top of this hill where those roads are. I have a feeling that we're on the right track. We are finding gold. We just got to figure out where the paying veins are and do more research on extraction. But being up in the hills like this is kind of cool. You know, it gets hot as hell during the summer. And that just means there ain't gonna be nobody out here bothering us, especially in the heat. There's another jasperoid right here. I know there's another mine somewhere. There's actually quite a few of them out here. Been looking for them. Haven't come across them yet. I know where one is for sure. But there are like 5 or 6 other ones that are wide open, ready to be explored, ready to be sampled so we can compare their ore samples to our ore samples. The problem is there's nobody working any of these, so any questions that we have, you know, can't get answered because we're on our own. Let's face it, even with all the TV shows, mining's a lost art. And the whole art of prospecting and getting out and beating the bush and trying to find these ore bodies is just gone. People are too lazy. You know, they'd rather sit on the TV or sit on their asses at home and not do anything at all. Anything that has to do with exercise. That's a big vein.